Steve, what happened last time?
Last time we... Now, was it last time that we threw the hoopla, or was that before?
That was
because
before.
Then, okay, so then we had the town hall meeting, and yeah, so we're working. Oh goodness, everything's blending together right now. I remember there was a town hall meeting. Used the what is it, like the rules of the town hall, or a general meeting against them a couple times. Finally got the hobbits to arm, which apparently they had all these weapons and things and stored anyway. I think we have a subplot plan to overthrow the bank at some point. But goodness, that's all I can.
Yeah, the meeting was like this gauntlet of really mundane administrative items or complaints that were overdue, and most of them were all related to everything that you've been trying to tell the hobbits now for 15 days. But they're all kind of wrapped up in their various procedures and cultural mores, and can't kind of see their way out of it. But thanks to when Rortrude, the one of the ladies of the matronly order of good manners, who had sort of not been your all's very much a friend for a while, for some reason had a very amicable attitude towards you at the meeting. And combined with her and then your ally in the bank, Fridolin Everard, you were able to overcome the votes. And the most shocking thing of all is Rortrude, as a public safety initiative, proposed a Shire moot, which had not happened in over 200 years, which mobilized the entire Shire Commonwealth, of which they can't officially speak for, since no one has ever heard from another Shire in probably 200 years, mobilized them for war, and designated Knob Boulder Hill as the Thane. And that is, I think, it. You all got fancy suits. And that's it. So here we go. So you awaken. This is now your 15th day in the Evening Lands, at least for Bashaw and Ben and Edward. And for Tharnlin and Warden, it's been several days. And the next day, everything seems to be business as usual, despite the public public policy, the enacted official declaration that the Shire is at war now. Nothing seems to have happened yet, except a few things. Bashaw, would you please roll 2d4? I think everybody... Oh yeah, you all went to the tavern and chatted and gathered rumors at the end of the day. If you didn't spend money, go ahead and mark off a gold piece for your meal for yesterday.
Oh, I definitely bought the ale for all those hobbits.
Yeah, yeah. So that, what did you get?
I got a 5.
A 5. All right. Mildred awakens you, and she has 5 golden eggs. That's probably worth at least 10 gold pieces. Small golden eggs. And the other thing, other than Mildred squawking outside the window that awakens you, is clearly the rapping of a hobbit fist against the door. to Brandon's house.
What?
All right.
You said at Thornland's house?
No, Brandon's house. They
okay.
have, since they've come into Brandonsford, they've been staying at an abandoned shrine that is human-sized. All the other buildings in town are hobbit-sized. They probably come up to your chest, or for Thornland, they probably come up just about to your head height. And this house, or this building, is has stained glass and is human-sized and made of stone. And it was covered in ivy and vine and was disused and empty on the inside. It's since been decorated by the Matronly Order of Good Manners. Sorry, what were we going to say, Steve?
Oh, yeah. Shaw was going to answer the door. The standard. Open up the top one, look around, see nobody. Open up the bottom one.
You open up the Hobbit looker, the Hobbit slider, and you see a knob just in an absolute nervous panic.
Or he kind of stares at him for a few seconds. Shunk. Unlocks the door.
All right, as soon as you open the door, Knob's like, Bashar, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I don't know how to be a Thane. No one's been a Thane. As long as anyone here has been alive. You know what? We can set this right. We'll just go back. We'll explain how this is all a mistake. And I'm sure that we could resolve this some other way. You all didn't intend for me to be the Thane, right?
Morning, Thane.
Oh, no. Well, this is a disaster. I don't know how to be a Thane. What do I do?
Well, if you don't know how to be a Thane, and there hasn't been a Thane in a long time, everything you do is successful as a Thane. You are the new precedent.
Yeah, so, no one knows. Whatever you do, that must be what a Thane does.
No pressure.
I don't think that's true. And besides that, I don't know what to do at all. Although, you're not wrong. And let's see, you are all selectmen now. I think they would probably just call you Lord and Lady, probably for now. My lord, I just obviously we have to deal with the goblin threat, but the hobbits, they're not warriors. Even the bounders, you've seen this. We're no good in a fight.
No. I don't know. Some of you and Ned and Squint seem to hold yourselves pretty well. When
he grabs his coat proudly. He's like, "Oh well, thank you."
I've seen the hill dogs and how well they wield a mallet. I think it's all about focus and aiming.
Okay, so you think that the hill dogs, the sports team, should use their mallets?
And Warden kind of looks from side to side and he goes, I think all hobbits should use whatever they're good at using and not worry so much about being effective warriors and just worry about doing their best, as all good hobbits should.
Oh, just do your best. He looks obviously inspired. Sorry, what were we going to say?
Warden goes back to tying some knots in a fishing net.
Oh yeah, he's the town fisherman. Have you fished? That's where you were last time, I think.
Yeah, he was fishing also.
Roll a 44.
Is that your official business?
Oh! Minus 10 XP. No, I'm just kidding.
13.
13. All right, you catch 13 fish.
Oh, dang.
They sell for a gold piece each because fish are in demand right now. You're kind of behind.
Okay, I will immediately sell all 13 and then give the gold to Bischoff.
All right, so that would be, to be clear, 130 silver pieces. Prices are very inflated right now because everything is trying to buy fish right now would be very difficult for the average hobbit. Okay, let's see.
Treasure.
All right, so everyone should just do their best. So, well, the next thing then would be just. Can I come in?
Yeah, come on in.
Oh, he's so nervous. He's like rubbing his head and stuff. He comes in, just pulls himself up into a hobbit, into a chair, starts eating whatever you've already been eating. You know, whatever's laid out. And
Shaw brings some tea.
Oh, thank you so much. All right. So what do we do though? What's the plan?
Violence.
Violence?
A lot of violence.
The best violence you can do.
Organized violence.
Organized. Oh,
Organized like a rhythm to a song. It's not that difficult.
a
Like
song.
see a goblin throw a rock. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the song.
Verse
So-
2, swing a mallet.
So if everyone did it to a beat and it was organized, then we could also control how they did it and okay, like a song. Right. Well, we should practice and put on a big song and have a little bit of a hubbub about it, I think. Yes. Okay, well, we'll do that soon. All right, so I'm going to schedule a hubbub, and we're going to do some song and dance, and in the process, throw some mallets and some rocks.
Somebody will probably need to collect a lot of rocks for ammunition.
Collect
in
rocks.
case of
That's
goblin
right.
attack. Yeah.
Oh,
Need buckets at least near the walls, I'd say, right?
right. I'll get Hartmut on that. I'll get Hartmut collecting rocks. Get the bounders that are that aren't on duty to do that, and we'll pile up some rocks. Okay.
Any of your masons and carpenters should start reinforcing things with the walls, putting any blocking any holes so there's very few entrances.
Well, the walls have stood for 1,000 years with no problems, and there's no breaks in the walls. I don't think anything could break through that wall. But the gates, we open and close them, mostly for you all, but we could reinforce the gates. Okay. Masons and the carpenters.
Do they have thatch roofs here?
Yeah, the hobbit houses do, yeah.
Okay. Water for the roofs when the
Water. Okay, have water ready. Ooh, a water brigade, yeah. All right. You know, and then we can do all of this as part of this hubbub. I'm going to go to the town hall. I'm going to get Brill on this and starting a hubbub right away. We'll do some dancing, and then I'll have the bounders collect all the water and the rocks. All right. Yeah, this, it's something. We'll get through this, right? We'll make it through this.
with great violence.
Yeah.
Gordon just nods as he still ties his knot.
Nob spends more time than needed eating and drinking tea. And then he gets up after some time. It's now late in the morning. And he says, "Oh, thank you so much, my friends. You still have the sword. What are you all going to do?"
were we gonna run reconnaissance on some goblins? Was that the plan?
Was that, or we were gonna go check out what was up north, right?
Yeah,
Is
we were gonna investigate either goblins or dragon lair. Is that?
Oh, we sent somebody to check out the goblins. So somebody has gone to the fortress to.
You did?
Pretty sure we had discussed that they were going to send a couple hobbits up there to take a peek.
I mean, and that's fine. You can totally do that. I'm trying to. Who do you send?
I think Knob was in charge of that, but I suppose that any well, I guess we don't have any hunters. We've just got
It'd be any sneaky and nosy hobbitses.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
All right.
the sneakiest, eavesdroppingest.
The ones that drop the eaves. All right.
Yeah.
Well, so you want I hope
I
they're
figured
okay.
Squints would go with them, but I don't want to be calling the shots here. But I thought we'd seen at least one of the leveled hobbitses with them.
All right. We'll send Squints. How many people should he take? How many hobbits?
I'd say a handful. Like you don't want too many, but you also don't want too few.
He looks at his
Yeah.
hands. Oh. Like he could have a handful of hobbits.
4?
No, that's too many hobbits.
Too
So.
many?
He looks nervous again. Okay, 4 hobbits. And pick the nosiest ones. They'll think
Okay,
I'm
the
picking on them.
Just spy from a distance and come back with, spend a day watching for goblins and come back, or is that? I mean, can they make it back? I mean,
Maybe some kind of hobbit ant line.
What is an ant line?
Like a messenger line. So you've got them
Like a chain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody can watch.
So then you have one hobbit really exposed while the other ones are further back.
A listening post or an observation post.
Yeah.
Like
and then he can send the other hobbit with him to the other guys, and then they can kind of do this chain.
Knob is listening and thinking, scratching his chin. All right, okay. All right, well, I'll get Squints on that. Is there anything else? Look, I know I'm supposed to be the Thane here, but no hobbits had any experience with anything like this until you all showed up.
Any Warbishaw's ever seen, he was just not, wasn't in charge of anything. We're probably carrying loads and stuff. So, trying to remember anything he would have seen, but
Yeah, I mean, it's reasonable to say that probably you all have never been in this position either, where an entire community depends on you and looks to you for leadership. And now you're minor nobles.
I'm just a fisher.
and it's hard not to go like go all meta. It's like, well, here's my last 20 years of experience with setting up small armies in D&D. So,
On the other hand, you can and totally should go meta out of character if you want, and if like Shire as a player too. Yeah, absolutely. But you don't have to, just whatever. All right, so if there's no other suggestions for Knob, he's like, okay, well, I'll get Squints on that. We'll reinforce the gates, and we're going to start a hubbub. And we're going to gather buckets of water and brigades and get the bounders on alert, piles of rocks at different points. And we're going to, as part of the hubbub, we're going to be throwing rocks. And it's going to be a whole game. Practicing throwing rocks and singing that song that Edward wrote. See a goblin throw a rock.
one more idea. Get all of your lumberjacks and woodsmen and start cutting away as many trees around as you can, and then use those for spikes so that they can't hide close close to the wall, and you'll be able to see them from a distance. And everything's covered in wooden spikes.
Wow. That's so brutal. But we could
Spikes
do
are
that.
Scary. I wouldn't want to touch them. So
Cut down trees and have the carpenters form spikes. Wow. Brought that outside wall, so we'll do it. It'll take some time. All right. Thank you. My lords. He bows again, and he gets ready to leave. All right. The Thane is about his business now. Taking your all's advice to heart, as you have indicated, mobilizing the entire Shire of Brandonsford. You can already begin within an hour, you begin to see bounders carrying carts of things back and forth. Supplies of food, which is an idea you didn't suggest, but Knob seems to have taken the initiative in doing, is relocating food supplies and creating supply caches and stuff as part of preparing things of water and piles of rocks and other weapons. The bounders themselves, he has them practicing with weapons. It seems like Knob has taken a lot of initiative. You can see that even within just the next hour. All right, what do you all do?
should we check out the cave up north where we think the dragon is? Do our own reconnaissance, or should we do something?
I'm gonna make a caller. It's gonna be you, Steve. You're the caller.
Oh man,
I need to stop doing the rolling. It's really unfair because the way the dice work, it's always the same person. So the same person always has to do the recap. Like, it's just the dice are not fair. All right, so go ahead. Sorry.
Well, we were between were we going to try and figure out the dragon's lair? Was that what we were trying to, our goal?
I think that's what we were wanting to do.
All right.
And that makes sense because if we're gonna, we've already prepared the goblins for protecting themselves against, we've prepared the hobbits for protecting themselves against goblins. Gosh dang it, hobbits and goblins. But we haven't prepared them against the dragon. So I feel like if we're gonna approach a dragon situation, that makes the most sense because the other one's already covered for. Where vice versa, it doesn't work as well.
I wonder if we can take care of the goblins via random encounter, and if we just wander around the woods around the goblin encampment long enough, eventually the dragon will show up.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're onto something. That you make a joke, but like, you could do whatever you want, you know.
My thought at one point was if we can turn this dragon against the goblins and two birds, one stone, you know. I'm not sure, even with our sword and our wine sap, that we got a plan for taking out this dragon. We have stuff to put it to sleep, but I don't think that's going to work so much if we just come up on it in a head-to-head fight.
Unless, this is an idea I just thought of. What if we dipped arrows in the sap and then aimed for its mouth? Would that just be like Novocaine, or would it actually be enough to knock her out?
I don't think we have enough now to go after Komodo dragon, let alone a real dragon at this point. So I would go the lesser route. That's me.
I mean, you could try to make like arrows that have like a little poultice, and then try to get it in its mouth, and if you hit it, it'll work.
What if we like embalm a cow with
Just
the wine?
stick it in the cow.
Yes.
I don't know if
Make
we
the
have
cow-
that much sap. Or what.
But we know where they are, and they gave it pretty freely. So I feel like that's what we gotta do now. Get the fattest cow we have, take it back to the satyrs, get it filled up to the brim with.
Hey,
sap
can you fill
of it.
this cow with wine for us?
Yeah.
We need
Then
this
it's
cow
just
to
like-
go.
It's like the weirdest take on the Trojan horse ever.
The hammered cow.
The hammer cow, yeah.
Cocaine cow.
How do you get a cow to swallow a wine pouch.
Something that's
Probably
something that's really unfortunate about cows is the way we do it on this planet. Unfortunately, is you don't ask. That's what we do with cows. It sucks for the cow. It sucks. All right, wait. So let me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
My wife just brought me a hot cross buns, so I don't have freshly baked hot cross buns.
I want that.
You share with the class?
Yeah.
Yeah, here you guys go. Enjoy. Little dry cranberries and homemade icing.
Darn it. Ah, man.
Awesome.
Hashtag spoiled.
Hashtag jelly.
All right, so I'm hearing a plot to take a cow and stuff it with drugs and try to get the dragon to eat it.
That was just a joke, but I mean, I'm up for whatever you guys want to do.
What's the plan, Steve? What's the plan with the group? Are we? I guess a broader thing is: are you trying to do a reconnaissance? Or are you gonna try to actually lure it out? Are you gonna try to kill it? Or what's the?
We should do reconnaissance first. Come up with a clever plan to drug via cow or something like that, and then I think we should wait till everybody's here before we try to kill it. Yes.
Okay.
That's gonna be a scary one.
All right, let's do it. Where do you head first? Do you follow the river or do you go into the woods?
We got a general idea where it is, so I guess we got to go up to the follow the river to the bridge, cross the bridge very carefully. Keep a watch over the bridge before we cross it. We've had a lot of problems on that bridge. We've had trolls, a dragon encounter, goblins. I think the leprechaun was near that bridge too. It's a dangerous bridge.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's been near the bridge. It's now afternoon. It takes you about an hour to get to the bridge, and you cross it onto the other side. You hear a commotion. Well, actually, let's see if you hear a commotion. Bashaw and Warden roll a d6.
4.
When I ask for rolls, do you all want me to call out the mechanic I'm using, or
No,
does it matter?
You're fine.
Okay.
I got 3.
Okay. All right. As you're crossing the bridge, you hear a commotion. You recognize the sounds. It's the kind of noises. And there's a bunch of them. And then you hear and it's all coming right on the other side of the bridge. It sounds almost like underneath it or something. I'm gonna mute you, Lane. It sounds like you're dragging a body off the screen. Don't tell us.
Don't call it out.
I know, right? My bad. Don't tell us.
Yes, sounds like guys.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see.
Light weapons malfunction.
All right. Yeah. So what do you all do?
My instinct says run, but I don't know. Should we stay and figure out what this is?
I think we just hide and wait for them to go away. Does
All right.
anybody speak Goblin? Pretty sure we ask this every week. But...
Yeah, I guess I'll hide.
Okay. You are able to hide. Wait in the woods. Let me see what happens here. You hear, and then you hear, and then you hear like this the yippy high pitched voices like blood curdling screams, and you think you hear flesh and sinew being torn apart and gurgling sounds, And eventually, you hear dragging noises, and they stop making noises. You just hear that like rumbling, kind of moaning noise, a bestial noise.
The same noise we heard from that troll.
You have never heard this noise before.
Okay.
I can easily say that.
So it's not dragon-like either?
No.
All the more reason to leave.
All right. Do you follow along the river, or do you head into the woods? Or where do you go? Yeah.
Well, we got 2 rangers with us. I think we go into the wood.
All right.
Is the river? Oh no, there's alligators in there, right?
I think there's dangers regardless of where we
Higgins.
go.
Yeah. We gotta find a shallow spot to be able to cross because this bridge is just not.
Yeah, I was thinking that we should really make some type of our own drawbridge from the town of Brandsonford. That'd be really useful.
All right.
I don't
So
know what time and resources that would take.
you pass this hillside here, and give this up. You pass this hillside where you had the battle with the sting bats, the bat/mosquito creatures, and the goblins, and you found the ruins of the dwarven caravan. And following alongside inside of the tree line by about a half mile or so, you make it back to this path. Now, when you make it here, you haven't encountered any goblins this whole time. The signs that you see of the indications of things being dragged look about the same as when you last left them. It looks like it hasn't been disturbed, at least in the past day or so, or a few days. And that's all you see. From here, you know that if you continue along this path, you go back to that ruined castle where the goblins ran inside when they saw you. And this is as far as you made it last time. Where do you go?
Should we take a peek while we're here? Or should we just kind of
I'm guessing
probably focus?
Well, I kind of want to get at least a closer look, see if there's, how holed up they are in there. Maybe I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we want to go all the way in, but just
I was
check
thinking, like,
defenses before we send hobbits over here.
Yeah, I was thinking like just to the edge of the woods, but at the same time, it's just like, I'm kind of curious while we're here, but
What if I just shoot an arrow up there and see how bad it is? Like poking a beehive, but from a great distance.
what if we accidentally trigger the raid? Oh man. Accidentally Leroy Jenkins the place.
I don't know. You never know, right? I mean, I'm up for staking out, but I'm also up for avoiding it. I don't care. I'm not the caller.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
should probably keep heading north.
Okay.
Total ADD by the goblins.
Oops, I didn't mean to go there. As you head north into the woods, you start to see and you can see this from where you were. As you head that way, the sun is to your left front, and then there's this like huge, imposing range of mountains that rise up like a wall, and you start seeing the foothills and the terrain rising. You actually have to kind of work uphill as you go. It is now early evening, and again, Warden and Bashaw, you can roll a d6.
Got 2.
Two. I believe you all are only surprised on a 1, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Let me see here. You see person. Fast at first. Something dark, far off in the distance in the woods. Bring the party to a halt. You can see with your keen eyes as you stop and you listen, the rustling, and then you can see it dart back into the open. This is a humanoid. At first you think a human, except very thin and lithe. And then you realize that it has ears twice the size of its head, and very thin. It has this serious look on its face, pursed lips, lidded eyes. Furs are bright and extravagant. It's hopping from tree branch to tree branch. It doesn't seem to notice you as it speeds through the forest, apparently tracking something.
Yeah, let's wait till that passes.
Yeah. And there's
Do we
nothing else. I
follow?
can't hear anything else in the trees or anything.
Yeah,
So
whatever it's tracking, you're stopped here and you're listening. You can only hear this thing moving as it moves across. If you don't intervene or act, it'll disappear from view very quickly.
I don't want to follow it.
What's that?
I kind of want to follow it. I asked the others in a whisper, like, should we follow it? All right. Well, with that kind of hesitation, I guess we just wait.
Humanoid. I mean, was it an elf? Would I know?
Was
was
it? Elf? Yeah.
It was
Or twice
alive.
bigger than its head.
Hmm.
What color was it? Like its skin? Was it a?
The skin was kind of like a I would say a dark skin human pigment, somewhat olive, except off-colored. It blended into the forest.
So we saw like a shrine to some sort of fey thing. Was it reminiscent of that? With that, remember we saw a shrine with like an elf thing when we were in the Brandon's catacomb thing? Was it anything reminiscent of that? Or?
Chicken. Yes and no. So the thing that you saw in the shrine had antlers,
Gotcha.
and was holding a spear. However, it was lithe and slightly not quite human, and with large ears. And this one also has those features.
So similar, of course, with that. This one does not have antlers. That was like a god thing, so maybe it wouldn't. So it could be related. If that's what Fae here. Like, we haven't met any actual Fae since coming over here, so. Do we follow it?
Would I know of any customs that would appease Fae? Like, do I, as a ranger and someone who's outdoorsy, would I have any idea of like things that people would know as like common courtesy of what you do towards Fae? Like, you know, nobles and people of high power, you bow, or like other things. What's the protocol with the Fae?
I think anything you know as a player, you can apply. You know, anything that you want to try out or try to apply, you can do it.
So don't look them in the eye. Don't make any kind of promises. Don't make any kind of deals. Don't eat anything they offer you.
Exactly.
Don't tell them
I
your
mean-
name.
I learned the hard way when I drank that wine that the satyrs offered. Don't.
Yeah. Like if you're getting it right and your hunches are right, then you win. You're right. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. Yeah. Anything you want to bring to bear, you can do it.
Right. I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait like everyone else. I'm just gonna wait.
Okay. All right, Steve, what's the plan? Are we going to follow it and see what it's about, or let it pass, this being loping through the woods rapidly trying to hunt something?
Tough. for me because on the one hand, it's like, ooh, piece of candy. Let's go look. The other hand, it's like, no, gotta go check out those mountains. But there's a colorful thing we could chase. Goblins.
Might it know more about the dragon if it is around here?
Yeah, that's my thought too. Is we could learn information or nothing else from it.
All right, let's follow.
Okay.
We're here to learn info.
Twisted
Maybe we
my
get this as a
arm.
source of information, right?
What's your goal in following it? Is it to try to interact with it and get its attention, or is it to just watch where it goes?
Both.
I think first one is follow it just a little bit to see if it,
Goal 1, don't piss it off. Goal 2, learn something. Like those are my
Yes.
2 goals.
All right. Well, they would probably happen in the reverse order unless you chose to reveal yourself, right? So,
All right.
the difficulty is that this thing is fast, probably faster than you all as a group. So the rangers can attempt a tracking check in the woods. I don't have my advanced fantasy book, but it would be in the woods, uphill.
The only thing I have is I have the pursuit ability, which is evasion is reduced by 10%, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that will come into play if it tries to run, basically.
Okay.
Good to know, though.
Okay, so just tell me what I gotta do and I'll do it.
Is the ground soft or hard?
It's a soft ground, and in this case, you all can roll the D100 for the tracking check for your rangers.
Okay, looks like we got at least a 60% chance here.
I got
somebody
It's
got-
not the right button. That's the right button.
Looks like Warden got it, I think, right? The 56.
Looks like it. Nice.
All right. Yeah, so Warden, you're able to follow this thing so fast that you're not able to catch up, but you're able instead to follow its tracks. You do so. There's a winding path in the woods. Some of the paths that this thing takes are not natural and easy flowing animal paths, but rather the sides of small ridge lines and thickets and brushes and briars, some of the hardest places to move. It seems to naturally want to be unseen, but you're still able to see where it goes, where it's broken branches and small signs, until eventually you make it to a small clearing on the side of a ridge, where you see the figure kneel down and speaking in a strange language and petting the fur of a giant hound that has a strange appearance to it. You all have seen hounds like this. You fought them.
like the wolves.
Yeah, this looks like that wolf.
Oh,
But is it even larger?
No, it looks like the same kind of wolf like the one you fought.
Well, darn.
all right. Well, maybe we just wait for them to go away and then.
Okay.
It's like, oh, we
But
found
at this-
out. No.
At this point, I'm curious though. I think I'm gonna do something really dumb. I want to separate myself from the party so that if I am compromised, that it's not a TPK. All right, I want to separate myself from the party, and I want to reveal myself. And I'll like arms up and like try to present myself as least amount of threat as possible. But I want to try to communicate with them.
Okay. Is everybody okay with that as a group? Okay. All right. So,
Yeah.
Warden, you do that, and the wolf starts to bristle and growl, knowing that you killed its friend. And the elf, you're able to almost sneak right up on them before it notices that the wolf is bristling and growling. It turns around. This humanoid draws a bow string and puts a target with an arrow on your head to drop you. If you if he feels like he ought to. But he doesn't fire, and instead says something in what languages do you speak?
Good question. Hey DM, what languages do I speak?
Well, you could pick them. What's your intelligence, though?
Intelligence of 9.
Okay, I think probably you just are able to speak common and read. I'm not even sure if you can write, but let's find out.
I think I had to have been able to read because I read the documents of the hobbitses. That's the one thing I remember accomplishing.
All right, you have a 9, so you're illiterate and you can speak common.
All right.
If
I
you
can speak common.
if you had less than a 9, then you could read, but you couldn't write. You'd have basic literacy. If you have a 5, you're illiterate.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So he says something in a strange sing-song language that you don't recognize and do not speak or understand.
I reply by nodding slowly and say, I just need help.
The wolf speaks in common. It says, "This is the one that killed my packmate. He deserves to die." And the being says something to it, and it growls and like puts its ears back.
I can attest that I am wrongful in the transgressions I have put forward to this forest and its beings that dwell here, but I did so out of self-preservation and the protection of those I deem dear to me. I ask only this, that you aid us in our help, and in turn, I will leave you all alone and hold counsel with those of my kin to also leave you all be. And all we ask is that we can have mutual understanding in the situation.
What's your charisma score?
12.
12? Okay. He then speaks in common. He says, "My friend says that there's a dwarf nearby. You're traveling with a dwarf?"
Warden thinks for a moment. And he says, "I have others that are relying on me to do what I know is best. I'm sure you have others that are relying on you to do what you know is best."
"This wilderness will kill you. You do not realize what you're getting involved in, human."
Well, that's why I'm approaching you. I was hoping you could enlighten me.
"Your people do not belong here, in the mountains or north of here.
Well, why are the mountains off limits?"
Your peoples have done terrible things to this land. And it may already be too late. But nonetheless, it is our job to guard it. What do you want of us?"
Knowledge and maybe some sort of alliance. We don't have much to offer, but what we do have is a commonality with not wanting to intermingle. Clearly, my people have done you wrong, and I've seen wolves devour people, and nearly my own party was eaten alive. So there's been wrong done there as well. All I want is some type of balance to it all.
The wolf actually like raises up and snarls and starts barking and growling. Spit actually flies out of its mouth towards you. You can feel the heat of its breath. It says in common, It wants power. And the humanoid takes its fur like around its neck and pulls it back, and then holds it and is like, I don't see how I can help you, but our peoples will never work together. You're not allowed in these forests. But if you're here for the dragon, it's there. And then he points like, this way.
What knowledge do you have of the dragon?
It is a consequence of the sin of dwarves, as is always inevitable with their sort.
Does it answer to anything? Does it have any way to persuade it? Is there any source that doesn't have to end in violence of masses?
No. And then he lopes off.
Warden slowly descends into shrubberies and tries to return to his friend.
Homer's his way in.
Yeah, that's my goal. That's my goal now. And Thane.
Cheery fellow, that elf. Oh boy. Okay.
And then I'll reconvene with the party and tell them, well, that was to no avail, but I didn't die, so I guess we could take it at what it was, a face value of a warning not to go to the mountains, because it's clearly where the dragon is. But we can ignore those warnings and head face first into the biggest trap of our lives.
Bingo.
Is that the plan, Steve?
Yeah, we should go take a peek. Reconnaissance, like from a distance, like watching the the rabbit from, what was its name? Monty Python, but the
Cave beast.
Yeah, the cave beast from a safe distance.
Oh boy. Honestly, I thought that's what the elf was at first. The way he mentioned it with long ears running around. Oh, it's a cave beast. I've seen one of these before.
Let's see. Warden and Bashai, you can roll a d6.
These are dangerous mountains.
Yeah.
Oh no! That didn't even roll, it just slid on.
Did that pass, Warden?
I got a 2, yeah.
Okay. All right. You see, through the forest as you are walking towards the mountains, that there is it seems the hound is separate from its master. You can hear it loping towards you excitedly, seeking to tear you apart.
What time of day is it?
It's currently early evening.
I'm going to light a torch and with my shield in my other hand, kind of turn back towards it, and clearly like alarm the others, like, hey, we're being pursued by this wolf. A wolf god is coming to seek revenge on us.
I was gonna climb a tree and get ready to shoot him.
Combat then. Okay.
We have time to run?
You can try to run.
I mean,
He's pretty fast, eh?
At this point, if it's following us, I don't know if there's any avoiding it. Honestly, that's
We're
my
kind
personal
of-
opinion.
Kind of exposed over here in dragon territory.
Yeah,
There's a long way to run.
if we just run head first, we're gonna run straight into the dragon's mouth. We might as well stand our ground here for a moment. Then, if the dragon kicks our butt, then we have a reason to head back home anyway. Head back home with our tail between our legs.
Good luck with the goblins and other. We gotta go.
Okay. probably going to be putting Edward in the back, but if everyone perishes, then Edward's probably not going to make it out either.
Is it just
I'll
the
give
one?
him his bow back that I borrowed last time. I got a sling and some rocks at least now.
Interesting. I need to fix that, but yeah, it's very interested in. It's obviously, as it comes into view, it's very interested in tearing you apart. You are able to act because it's still ways off. In fact, you hear and see it coming through the woods about 70 yards away. So it still has a while to get to you, at least around. What's the plan?
My goal is to come at it and maybe surprise it by standing my ground. And then I would like to use my shield to try to pin it down and to a point where it's exposed to the others and give them an opening. That's my goal, is to give the others an opening.
If you're standing your ground, I'm going to try and hide within a reasonable short distance, so that if you're distracting it hopefully won't notice me, and I can get a backstab in before after I hide.
I also have my torch lit, and I'm gonna try to make myself noticeable. And since I'm imagining he's probably tracking my scent anyway, so I want to try to distract him / do what I can to give others a chance.
What is Tharnlin doing? Can you hear me, Dave?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got you. I was just trying to adjust my screen right here and everything. Apologize for that one.
That's all right.
Yeah, getting ready to my bow right here.
The bow.
Short bow.
Okay. And then for Ben, are you going to use a melee weapon for that, or are you using a...
No, I'm probably going to be going ranged, at least for the first attack. I figure there's not going to be a good way to hide within melee range of Warden. I don't... That just seems unfeasible.
Are you trying to get the backstab?
I am trying to get the backstab, though.
Okay. Yeah. You can get it without rolling if you're doing a melee, and basically you're taking advantage of Warden getting the attention. That's all that's happening.
Okay.
If you're trying to disappear into the brush so it doesn't know where you're firing from, you'll need to make a check.
Ooh. If there's a chance that I could be hidden and continue going at it, then yeah, I'm going to try for that. Try to snipe. Because I am a little bit of a coward.
Okay.
I'm a thief. I don't have a lot of hit points, so I'm going to be trying to get in sniping hiding positions.
Bashar, roll a d6, and then Ben, roll a d20 to... Actually, I'll roll it.
D20 in my...
All right, I got you.
Shadows is only a 20%, but...
Alrighty. All right. What'd you get? This will probably happen the next round, actually. But what'd you get on your d6?
6.
6. All right. So the first thing that happens is you're all able to fire if you want anyways as part of a surprise round because he's charging into combat. So if anybody's using a ranged weapon, they can attack and roll for damage now. You have to hit an armor class 15 ascending. Ascending armor class 15.
Forget it.
Nobody hit? Okay.
No.
You all also are able to act first as it moves into combat. So if you are... and Ben, you can add your +4. And if you are attacking, you can do that now and roll for damage.
Ooh,
so can I still backstab with a ranged attack? Is that what we're doing here?
Yep. You passed,
Okay,
so they don't see you.
Oh, wait, that was a 1d10, not
Until that
d20.
changes.
I mistyped. I rolled bad. That was a...
So I see a 3. Any other damage? No?
Was this second round?
Ooh,
This
crit.
is the second round, yeah.
That's a crit.
I also got a crit. Exciting.
I got 3 so far, 3 damage. Anything else? And then
Let's see,
you got
so
a
it's
4.
double
So
damage.
7. It's not double damage. I'm sorry. No.
Oh, for backstab?
It's plus
No
4 to
backstab?
damage.
Okay.
I think I don't think it says double
It's
damage.
a
right?
plus 4 to bonus to hit and doubles any damage.
Oh,
to
I'm so
backstab.
sorry. My bad. Yeah. Thank you.
So it's just a plus 4 to hit. So I guess it's not to the damage, but a double the damage. So
Okay.
is that roll 1 die and double it, or roll 2 the dice? How do you?
Well, it's the
consider
same
double
math,
it?
so whatever's fun for you.
Okay, well, I'll just if it's 1d4, then I'll go for 2d4 on
Sure,
crit.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not, I like it. Oh, well, that was pretty much the same thing. That was lame.
All right, so I got a 3. I think I saw a 4. A 4. So that's 7 plus 2 is 9. That's what I saw. I didn't see anything else. All right, that makes it its turn. Warden, you brandish your torch. This thing runs towards you as arrows fly into its hide. It yelps, snarls, and jumps into you to tear you apart. And you're able to do as you said. You're able to slam your shield into it, knocking it out of its way. It slides across the ground, not making purchase. You're unable to pin it, but you're able to deflect it from sinking into your throat. And Steve, roll a d6, please. You get a 5. I got a 1. You all are able to act again. What's the plan? Is it? Are you trying to pin it down for everybody else?
I would like to take my torch to it and like hold it near it and say, "Leave us be, and we'll leave you be."
Okay.
And like
So,
basically like try to ward it away and like get it to give up on us.
all right. So here's what you'll need to do that. You'll need to pin it down. I want to let you know this thing is massive.
Right.
When it's
Like
on.
bear size.
The chance of you pinning it down is very slim.
Okay.
So I will say if you roll an 18 or above, you can do it. The
Okay.
math would be the same either way. There's only about a 15% chance that you'd be able to do it.
Okay, I failed.
Okay. You can still attack though. Anybody trying to attack can roll to attack and hit.
Am I exposed? Do I get the backstab again, or now that I've
Finally.
done an attack, is that out of it?
Yeah, you'll get the backstab until you're seen, is what I'm going to
Gotcha.
say. Yeah, nice. Oh no, and then you got a 1. Okay, so I saw
One damage.
1 point of damage so far is what I see. I don't see anything else so far.
I got a 21 to hit, so that should hit. And then if it's still backstab, let's see a bit better. Ooh, that's better.
5.
4 damage.
And then what'd you get, Warden?
I missed. I got 2.
Okay. All right. Well, you all are able to, as you try to reason with it and try to pin it down, your allies fill it full of arrows, and it rears up, an arrow going into its throat. It staggers back and forth, kind of walking, staggering side to side, and finally thuds to the ground, dead. Whoops.
At that point, I think Warden's just like out of breath and very upset. And I think he looks to the others and says, "I wish it didn't have to be this way." And then I would like to dress it and take the pelt.
All right. This will make you with treasure. So you will be with treasure.
Okay.
All right.
Does anyone have any free slots, free carrying slots?
Ooh, Bashaw does.
Would you like to take my mirror? I have a silver mirror you can have.
And I might be stating the obvious, so I apologize if I am, but you don't have to apply the slots now. So once you start the adventure, once you leave a sanctuary, the slots are simply, all right, I'm preparing my adventuring gear. My OD&D game, actually, it turns out it has a rule like that. It basically condenses basic adventuring gear when you depart to like 15 pounds total. But anyways, and it doesn't matter what's in it. But yeah, so the slots are just when you depart. So you can carry more than your slots. And you're
Okay.
To be clear. I don't know if that
Okay. Okay. So because I have all 10 of my slots filled. If this would be put me over, then I was going to hand off something. But if I don't have to, then I'll just keep carrying.
this is very big. It takes you
Right.
it takes you 2 or 3 hours. It's now dark outside. Night falls in skinning it. But then this thing is very large, so even if you remove some items, you're still going to be with treasure. But you're just with treasure. It doesn't make you immobile. It does change your movement speed.
Okay. I'd like to be able to turn it into like a headdress / cloak thing. It's like my head goes in its mouth kind of thing,
Yeah.
and then have it like have the fur go down my back.
Meet the elf again. Hey, look,
Oh man.
it's your friend.
And it basically be my statement of like, I don't want to choose violence, but we'll do what we have to just survive. Like,
All right, so I'm going to do a single check for the... This is weird. How did you all end up on that side of the river?
it moved as you were prepping this combat, so I don't know how that.
That's so
By
weird.
strange magic.
Let me see if I can... There we go. Cause it to... Nice. I may have... I wonder if this is... Let's see here. That's not fair. I put you in the wrong place. Because the elf told you. And so, that's not fair. So, okay, it's actually over here.
Oh.
Otherwise I wouldn't, but since he told you. Okay, what was I doing? We are going to do one check for the night. The nighttime falls. And it passes.
I've got a crazy idea.
Yeah, and so from where you are now, you can see that there is I don't know what to call this, but a valley within steep mountains and very tall, steep hills. There's this low area that's just barren, and then a huge cave on the other side.
Is there dragon tracks here?
It looks like you see marks of dragging. It looks like something. It's looks like the ground is scraped and dragged in places.
Oh man. I wonder. Crazy idea. Since we have two things of the wine, what if we took that ward corpse, put it in the center of like this like an entrance, so that when the dragon goes in and out, and then we put one of the wine things in its stomach, and just kind of see what happens. Because if it comes by and it's like, oh hey, eats that up, goes in its cave, out like a light.
Yeah. What do you think, Steve? Is that the plan?
I don't know. Waiting for a consensus.
Are we ready to go? And I mean, if that works, then we're kind of obligated to try and slay it, right?
Oh.
If we want to,
Lane froze.
if we want to make that step.
I can see him. He's still alive for me.
Well, I think it's my internet that's being weird.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I think that's the question is...
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I think my internet's getting weird.
No, we hear you just fine. Steve. Good.
Might
Okay,
wanna-
I think you guys are back. Everybody was freezing at once.
Okay.
Slightly garbled.
So Lane was basically saying, do you want to commit? Like, if you lay out the trap, then... unless you're trying to experiment and just see what happens, I guess.
We
I support
have the sword of Brandon ready.
That's true. He
If
is
it
not
works,
here.
Yeah, that's the big. We need to, there's two parts of the sap. Getting him to drink it, of course, being the big part of it. But then, the sword of Brandon is also kind of key to our killing this dragon plan, wasn't it?
important. Yeah. All right. Well, we know where it is.
He said he's unable to
And,
join us tonight. He actually had some things, the family and various things altogether. And he said, please send my apologies to the boys. So it says.
Yeah.
I think what we should do is make an inconspicuous camp, and maybe we can learn something about its habits and hunting routines, and maybe we could invest time to get a better situation in the future.
We don't have any goblin stuff with us, do we, to make it look like they're goblins?
That's a good idea. We should
Sneak, like whenever we leave, maybe we should leave a trail to the goblin base.
frame goblins, and oh, what if we got goblin feet and put the goblin feet on our boots so our
Like,
tracks
at
look
least
like
some
goblin
sticks.
tracks?
Yeah.
Man, that's a great
Rub
idea.
Some goblin smell along our trail,
I've already got
Lead it
wolf
back.
smell. I think wolf smell is kind of my smell now.
That's true. But if we're here, we should, go past the goblins again. If nothing else, if it can start smelling and start chasing us. Hopefully, he gets distracted on the way back to Brandon's.
Let's drag the warg behind us.
Straight to
It's
goblin
this
camp.
nice, smelly. Yeah. Little scent trap.
Yeah.
Okay. From where you are, of note, you can only see that there's this big hollow, and this is nearly a mile and a half ahead, just to be clear. Oh, yeah, right here. It's about a mile and a half ahead from where you are. Well, that's incorrect. And so you're not really sure what's down there in that valley, or what's in the hole or anything like that. But or what paths it takes, or if it's even there, or if this is the right place or anything. But so what I'm hearing is you're gonna try to set up a scent path. Is that the goal, to try to lure it toward the goblins?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm hearing the wolf. You don't have any goblins right now. Although you could go goblin hunting, I guess. That's another option. What other things would you try to do to lure it onto a specific path?
I just heard a sheep in the background there, and we could do the goat thing from Jurassic Park, but with goblins.
I was thinking more like Game of Thrones right there with
Okay.
they get the.
I feel like that's what we gotta do, though. We gotta go hunt some goblins right now. They're everywhere, aren't they?
All right.
Running around.
We got 2
We
hunter
don't even
types
have to
with
kill
us.
them.
Y'all can track goblins, right?
Yeah, you guys can make your tracking check. This would be a great use of it. If you succeed, then you'll find what you're looking for in this area. This takes several hours, because you're exploring this whole hex. It's a wooded area, soft ground in the daytime. you guys pass?
Passed.
All right, you find goblin tracks. They predictably lead here into this forest, which is the direction of the castle.
All right, dragging our wolf buddy with us
To start the path.
explore.
To be clear, like, this
find-
is off away somewhere else, right? So even if this is, if you're trying to do that, you'll probably have to actually go within a mile of where it is, assuming there is a dragon there, you know. So if you're, are you also going to try to create a scent path with the wolf?
Yeah.
Okay.
I imagine.
Do we need
So-
to get a little closer to the?
Yeah,
Okay,
because this
cool.
this is a
Yeah.
mile and a half away, so that's a lot of space. So just to be clear,
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we need to get any closer to it. What I want to do is just cover our own tracks and like make it to where if the dragon shows up, that there's no sign of us unless we're actually seen particularly from it. You know what I mean?
so you're just trying to conceal your tracks.
Right. Or
Okay.
the parties. But
Is that-
yeah.
All right.
Okay, that works. No problem. All right, so if you're following the goblin tracks, I'm going to do a quick check here. And you eventually find, let's see, Bashaw and Warden, you can roll a d6. Oh, nice.
That one.
3.
Bashaw, you all find a rise in the terrain. It doesn't rise all the way to the top of where the goblin castle would be. However, you're able to kind of see ahead into the treetops, and you can see the movement ahead, some 200 yards ahead of you, of a goblin listening post. It looks like 2 of the goblins are fighting and arguing with each other, while 4 others are what do you call it? Egging them on. You can see this off in the distance. They don't notice you. They're a ways off.
Not very good guards.
Nope.
Can we try a pincer maneuver?
Take him out. I like it.
Yeah, get in
Come
2
in
separate
from both
positions
sides.
and then
Yeah.
volley of arrows.
So your goal is to set up
Yeah.
an ambush?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Crashed. Logging back in. So it sounds like we're trying to sneak up on some goblins.
Yes.
Let's see here.
Don't know where it started, but my old friends keep saying goblins like Christopher Walken's. Goblins. Every time I hear goblins, I think goblins. Wow.
In the wild.
Goblins. Terrible raid of goblins.
A terrible raid of goblins in the wild.
Terrible.
You all, they do not see you.
It seems like a lot more goblins than I thought there was going to be.
Yeah, there's 2 of them that are fighting with each other, and the other 4 are egging them on. You can, if you want to begin an ambush, you can, let's see, I can move them down here further if you're trying to encircle them.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going around? Who's kind of the flank?
I'll go. As I feel pretty confident. I think Warden feels overly confident with a wolf pelt around him now.
All right.
Is last time?
Do you need a bowman with you or no?
I have a bow with me, yeah.
Okay. Do you need another bowman or no? You
I
want
mean,
me on the
I think,
left.
yeah,
with you?
come with me, yeah.
I'm going. Yep.
All right. Cool. Yeah, we'll move you guys around here then, and then Ben, you can use your backstab for this, to be clear, and you all can roll to attack and hit.
Okay.
I'll roll for Edward.
Mine's yellow. 17.
So do I
17s.
I have a 14 on strength. Do I add that to, like, do I add the modifier to this?
You add a dexterity to a bow, to a range attack, but you don't add it to damage.
My roll. 1 point.
So
Okay,
we got
so
20.
It looks like
Crit it again, it looks like. So if I...
So I have an 11 in Dex. Does that mean I have a +0 modifier?
0.
Yeah,
It's 0.
okay.
Not
Okay,
as
I was
well as
making
0.
I was making sure.
Yep.
Then yeah, I don't have any. Yeah, I have 10 in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
OSR is easy.
so. Let's
So,
see. What's your
if
damage, Dave? You got a 2.
You got a 1.
Actually, let me.
Unless you tell me I got a magical arrow.
So if I crit on a backstab, I think I did before, and I didn't really put that together. Is that 4 times the damage?
No, so that's what I was saying. Is a crit is just you hit. You automatically hit, like no matter what, even if it's got an AC of 25. But you don't do like double damage or anything like that.
Okay, but a backstab doubles damage, so
Yeah.
it's...
I don't know
Okay.
where I got +4 to damage. I'm running a bunch.
Well, it's +4 to hits on a
Right.
back.
Well, anyways, let's see. What damage did everybody get?
Did 4.
You did 4.
We borrow Edward's bow since he's not here. Like I did before.
I rolled for Edward, and I got. I guess actually. Goodness gracious. I don't know. I'm just gonna roll again. I don't know. I can't see it. Nat 20 anyway.
Oh.
And 6 damage.
Hey.
So there's 2 gobos down. All right. What did you got 5 damage? Another gobbo down. And did anybody else hit and cause damage? I think.
Are we on a
Dave.
second turn right here for attacks? Okay, I'm ready to. Hold on.
Nope. It was just this is just
Nope,
the first
negative. Okay.
Well, good.
Thank God.
one. All right.
Might have broken my bow here.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And Bashar, you can roll a d6.
4.
5.
Oh.
They're able to act first. They see Tharnlin and Warden. The first thing they're going to do, though, is they're going to roll a morale check, which they pass, amazingly. And the goblins are going to rush toward the nearest target to try to eliminate it. 2 of them are going to try to attack Tharnlin.
Of course.
It bumped it,
What do you
which is
I didn't see
good.
the roll.
Does a 12 hit?
You don't. You did 14.
Nice.
AC
Okay.
14.
And then one of them is going to try to attack Warden. Is a 16 hit?
Yeah.
All right. It does d6 damage. 5 damage.
Nice.
And all right, it's your all's turn.
Right, incoming arrow.
Stab with the stabbing.
Ah.
Oof. All right, so I'm still hidden, or do they still get
Wow.
backstab?
I would say no, not now. Yeah.
No backstab. Okay.
All right. So I'm dropping the bow, literally dropping the bow and not wasting time and going with the axe.
All right.
Ugh.
Oh no. Okay, I see Ben hit. What's your damage there as a 1?
1 damage.
Okay.
And then don't forget to roll for Edward.
Yeah, good point. Edward's also gonna do
Another
a
nat
20.
20.
20. Double.
Yeah!
Double,
This
double,
is
double.
this is almost like how Chris rolls, actually. Yeah. Kills another one in front of Tharnlin there. And you can roll a
Thank
d6, Steve. Oh, they go first. All right. 1 each is... first of all, that would be Warden again, but I'm going to give him a chance first. And nope, Snake Eyes. So, Warden does a 19 hit.
Yep.
All right. It does 1 point of damage, and it's your all's turn.
All right. I'd like to stab it.
Melee.
Feeling
And me.
very aggressive now.
You have to meet an armor
16.
class 12. 16 hits.
Hey.
Awesome.
Another
There we go.
13.
D8.
So do I add my strength modifier to a spear attack?
Yeah.
Quattro, 4 points
Okay.
for Darlin.
All right.
So
Another single point with the pegging him with the rock.
with a strength of 14, what's my modifier?
That would be a
That's
plus
one.
+1. Yeah.
+1. Okay, well then I still only rolled a 10 to hit.
Okay. All right. Let's see. There's no way that the surviving goblin is going to want to try to stick around. So he's going to try to run. And he's going to try to run and warn the others. But do you try to? What do you do? Do you let him run, or what do you all try to do?
I shout, catch that runt.
Yeah, I want to try to tackle.
Are you going to try to get him alive?
Yeah.
Too slow.
Okay.
Keep throwing rocks at him.
Let's do a contest. I'm just going to condense that. I don't really like the evasion mechanic, and I think they're faster than you anyway. Let's condense it to a contested check, but because you're rangers, the 2 rangers can do it at a +1 in addition to your dexterity. Okay, so you tackle the goblin.
Awesome.
All right, so now you have a goblin here. What do you do?
What's that symbol above the goblin?
That one's
net?
like a net,
Yeah,
restrained. The others are skulls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at a face hugger or something like that. I don't know.
All right, he's like, and he's just like scratching and clawing and kicking and trying to get away from you, Bashaw.
Gag him.
All right, you gag him.
Now let's cut off his feet.
And
Oh no, you have dead ones, but okay.
really
I'm not trying to tell you what to do.
No, I was gonna just do that for some laughs. I will take some dead goblin feet though.
Okay. Is the plan to like construct a trail of goblin, like a fake goblin trail?
Yeah, my goal is to like bind goblin feet to the bottom of my boots to make my tracks look like goblin tracks.
Okay. All right. So you're trying to make a goblin track into the woods, and you have a live goblin. So you head back up. Well, what do you do actually?
Goblin, you speak human? You speak common? If he doesn't, is he any use to us?
Oh, he could show us the way to various things. He could show us the way to back to wherever the goblins are hiding. He could tell us where goblins hide food. He could tell us lots of things. He just won't use words.
Let's make him walk into the dragon's lair.
Well, one thing I want to do is do a quick search around with the goblin. What did the goblins have on them? I'm sure they got bad equipment, or what? Is there anything notable that they got?
You will find some stuff. I'll use the treasure type for this in particular, so I'll get that to you all later.
Oh, and it'd be prisoner of war procedures here, so yeah.
You're right though. The equipment's pretty useless, but they'll have whatever their treasure type is on. You know what? I'll run it. We'll take a second.
Okay.
It might be something. Might be something interesting. Let's take a look at the treasure.
Magic arrows or magic bow. You never know.
Yeah, everyone. It is possible that when you encounter something like a goblin, that you'll get something crazy.
Of course, they'd be using it. Now, I'm listening, just jumping up.
See if I can get this to focus. Got this little goblin.
Goblin.
Goblin. This little goblin. It's actually, I think it was advertised as a boggle, which is like a fairy type, but honestly, it's the best goblin I've seen.
Yeah, that's an awesome goblin.
And this is one of the very few miniatures I've been painting. He's got. I tried to make it look like his sword was on fire. He's got like an orange and red flame on there.
That's awesome.
Okay. Sorry.
You're good.
Never be sorry for rolling treasure.
Yeah, you could take more time.
They
Roll a
find
die.
it's you find some valuables that they probably got from the dwarven caravan, and I say that because these are electrum pieces. This is an unusual currency. You find 7 of them, 7 electrum discs, electrum pieces.
That's it. Just
Yep.
7 electrum. Okay, all right. Worth half a gold. Or 2 gold, I'm sorry. Each.
All right. What do you all do?
Yes, make goblin tracks. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm saying like I.
Warden's just
Picking up
prancing
that
around at this point, just like making excessive combo checks in every direction.
Yeah, let's do that, and then bring our little prisoner here and send him into on a little adventure into a giant cave.
Okay. I think you're going to have to get really close. Like, you're probably going to have to get in the cave and throw him in, because he is, like, kicking and screaming and trying to get away, and, or you could tie him up. Otherwise, he's going to run.
I thought we tie him up, and then we get in a location where we can just roll him into it. Like just roll him down, roll him downhill like a kid in a barrel, just all the way in there.
Sure. All right. Okay.
Pinata goblin. Oh no.
So we're gonna go dragon bowling, but like goblins.
I'm gonna put different music on for this.
I wonder if we can get up top, because it's such a what do we call them, like a death bowl or a kill pocket or something like that. It's just such a
Kill sack.
Yeah, it's just such a bad spot in there.
So I just want to be clear. Are you trying to engage the dragon, or are you just trying to set up this like trail, like a goblin trail?
I think that from what I'm understanding is we make a trail from here to the dragon's lair, and then hopefully dragon kind of gets aggravated by that, follows it, and eats some goblins. But with our living goblin, I'm thinking if we send him in, if we can get him to go into the cave by coercion, and just really well, that's kicking the wasp nest that we were talking about earlier. This time,
So
a wonderful combination.
are you trying to fight the dragon, or are you trying to deceive it into going toward the goblin castle?
The second.
That one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was just say before we go through with this, I'm fearful that a dragon and a goblin can communicate. In which case, the goblins could be like, "Hey, they made me do this."
I don't think we can trust this goblin if
Right.
to talk to the dragon. Yeah.
So two things about this plan. Number one, you'll need to establish a trail to the goblin castle, because you only went about a mile into the woods. If you're trying to get it to all of the goblins, Secondly, there's no way that you're going to convince this goblin to go into a dragon's lair. Like, you're either going to have to bound him and throw him in there, or if you release him, he's just going to try to run away, screaming and biting and clawing. So.
I'm also very wary of trying to drag an uncooperative goblin anywhere near a dangerous dragon cave.
That's fair.
Sounds like a bad idea.
I am also wondering how smart a dragon is, and how much of just raw bestiality and abilities and elemental forces there versus just just like the fairies and these wolves that are basically intelligent. I don't know. I don't know if there's even a dragon anymore.
Yeah.
It might be a fool's errand.
Yeah, is this like a dumb lizard dragon, or is this like ancient, super planning everything over thousands of years dragon?
Yeah.
I wonder.
I mean, I think if it's our best bet, honestly, to get it to if our trick to lure it to the goblins is going to work, is really just going to be almost curiosity as much as anything. I don't, not necessarily like, oh, these goblins are out to get me, so much as there's a trail going from here to here. Oh, it's goblins. Let's eat them while I'm here.
Okay.
We could
So-
drop little goblin bodies, and he can follow them like a little snack.
Also, so wherever we are, we're on the other side of this like gully, right? There's like a gully between us and this cave mouth.
Gully, yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't know what that was called, but yeah, it's a big desolate expanse about a mile or so in diameter on the front end of it, yeah.
Okay, is it like a ridge or like a mountain line on top of it? My
okay.
curiosity is thinking, what if we can cause some type of avalanche or cave in, where we just bury the dragon and just solve all of our problems right there? Like, does that seem like a feasible possibility? If we could just take some time to hike up into the mountains and cause some type of avalanche, that would be drastic enough to bury the dragon.
Probably not. Yeah, I think and the reason I say that is you can look at the cave entrance and you can see that it doesn't look very unstable from where it is. It's not like there's like
the dwarf's gonna get the mountain is gonna look at it and it's like, what planet are you? No, he's gonna say, I don't think it's possible.
Good to know.
Humans. Okay, so trying to create a goblin trail. Just want to make sure I'm understanding the plan. In order to do that, you'll have to go back to the goblin castle, to be clear. Because these hexes are a mile. So it's quite a while. It's quite a ways, right? You'll have to get close to the entrance. Not within feet, presumably. But you'll have to actually make it to the entrance. Not just, not just like a mile away from it, as it were. And then I'm hearing now that you're going to keep the goblin. Who's carrying the goblin, by the way?
Shaw could carry the goblin.
Okay. Bashaw, you are with treasure. You have a squirming goblin.
You're encumbered.
You hear that, goblin? You're my treasure.
Okay, and then and now I'm hearing you're not throwing the goblin in the cave. Just to be
Not throwing the goblin in the cave.
Okay. So, all right. So, you put the dead goblin feet on, and the rangers and everybody. I assume you're doing all kinds of stuff. I assume you're taking a branch and you're hiding your tracks, and then you're creating a false trail of goblin feet. And you're, obviously creating a goblin trail. You're maybe getting some goblin blood, and you got stuff. Doing everything you can to make this goblin trail. It's very obvious, that goblins have been here if it were a beast and they were smelling it. As you approach this big opening at the other end of the gully, you see streams of yellow smoke rising from the cave's mouth. The stones around you and the dust actually shake at your feet with deep rumbling noises, like a this percussive, rhythmic rumbling of the ground and the stones around you. And you can see a cave at the base of the mountains. There are trees that were once here, little sprouts of trees, like groups of them, copses, right? And they are blackened, like copses of trees that are blackened and charred. And you can also see, even in the darkness of the cave, something bright, shining, and glistening, shimmering from inside of it. And those are the things you see.
So the smoke that's billowing out, the warden would ask the dwarf, Barwin, if those look like natural geysers, or if that's dragon make?
Okay, can I use a perception? Or can I use no, there's no perception roll in OSR, but wisdom check?
No, you don't have to make a check. You're a dwarf, and you can easily you look at that, and that is absolutely not natural.
Not natural. Okay, all right. So somebody had to make that one. Okay, all right. It's not real. It's somebody did something to that to rate that.
Well, it's very
not a
clearly
nature.
who.
Right. Let's make tracks and make tracks.
All right.
Get out of here.
Get out of here with
this is
a
a thing
goblin.
Bashaw's new accent. Whole time. Wow.
Oh no. Oh
I did
no.
not do a good Christopher Walken impression, that's for sure. Make a lot of voices, that's not one of them.
Well, I think when Chris comes back, he'll be like, "Wow, you guys did a lot of weird things. I didn't expect you doing it."
If we survive these rolls, I don't know. I didn't like the sound of it.
Yeah.
The first thing that happens
Oh no.
is you don't even have to roll for this. You hear hobbits loudly speaking among themselves, like
Oh no, we're gonna have hobbits throw rocks at us.
Oh,
old man, boy, I tell you what, Zach, boy, if I get that gold, we're gonna really turn things around in Brandonsford. I got some big ideas once I get that dragon's gold. And they're just talking back and forth, and they're heading towards you oblivious. They don't see or hear you. 2 hobbits.
So the noise discipline's not very good. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, not at all.
Oh man.
I thought
News.
our idea to send goblin reconnaissance maybe was shooting ourselves in the foot, but it sounds like maybe they're on their own.
Oh, these are some smart aleck hobbits here. Oh man. Well, we gotta adopt them from.
Yeah. What if we just scare them? Just scare them
Well, I mean,
into
at this point, they're gonna. We're trying to lure them to the goblins, not back to the hobbits, right?
Yeah, so we, as goblins, scare them to go back to Brandsonford. We're goblins, don't forget.
All right, Steve, pretend you're goblins or talk to them.
We should probably just talk to them. We don't want them screaming.
That's pretty smart. That's pretty smart. Yeah.
Okay.
And they'll think we should use our ranger skills to kind of sneak up behind them and cover their mouths so they don't scream.
Good call.
All right. You do that, Bashaw and Worden, and they do try to scream. Meanwhile, you have a goblin that you've put presumably in a sack, who's also
Just writhing in a sack. Yeah.
it's
You don't want to join
That's
this
the name of
goblin.
the
Be
game
quiet.
Just
And-
a bag of writhing potatoes.
yeah. The hobbits are very scared.
Drag them away from the cave mouth and.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. They're terrified. They think that humans are stealing them.
I mean, they're not entirely wrong. Once we're far enough away from it, put them down and say, "What are you doing out here?"
All right, you're able to try to get them to calm down. One of them enough. One of them is short and fat and has a total of 4 teeth, and the other one's tall and dopey looking with a gigantic Adam's apple. And the fat one's like, me and my brother Zach, we thought maybe we could. If there's a dragon, that means there's got to be gold, and so we came out here and we got a plan. See, we're gonna use this. We gotta, and they have a sack. And in it is a dead pig. And they're like, we're going to throw this dead pig. And we got this big net. Now look at this net. And it's a big net, but it's a big net for hobbits. So it's like all of about 10 feet wide.
Bashaw's a little annoyed that half of their plan was part of his plan.
The pig, okay. The pig's not a bad idea.
Okay, that part's good, yeah.
The net can catch one of us, not a dragon.
And even then, it'd be more mildly irritating.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what you all out here trying to get the dragon, or we? Look, I'll tell you what. We'll go half, and half, and half.
Well, you two are very stealthy and clearly geniuses.
They beam and with pride when you say that. Yeah.
What I need you to do is head back to Brandonsford and use your net idea for when the goblins come, because that's genius.
Well, the goblins ain't gonna have no gold though.
Well, the goblins might be working for the dragon.
And then at this, his brother Zach's like, them goblins could be working for that dragon.
Good thinking. They could be.
Oh, no.
You should just take that pig there and go have yourselves a feast back at Brandonsford.
Okay. I'm going to see if you can convince them. They're not quite having it. I'm going to also, let's see. Bashaw, you can make a charisma check.
Right. Which one is it? There we go. Here we go. Hey, I actually did it.
Nice. All right. Seeing that they probably don't have much of a choice anyways with the big people with weapons and everything else, Zach, the dopey looking one, is like, look, Gil, Tad, we ought to head back home. These people are obviously prepared for this, and we don't stand a chance anyways. No offense, big people. And he bows a little bit, and then he's like, all right, well, we're going to go eat this pig. And they walk off. And Bashaw and Warden can make, you can roll a d6.
Oh, no.
One.
Two.
Okay. And actually, you can also do a tracking check and a wisdom check. The tracking check would be forested, flat, and soft ground.
Hey.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Did
And then you
that?
said a wisdom?
Well, you don't have to. But did that pass, Warden?
I don't know.
Oh.
38? Yeah.
38. Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. A couple of things. You see some wilderness sign as they head off back towards the stream. Off in the distance, you can tell that there are a group of wolves. They don't seem to be. You can tell that wolves have been in this area. From what you can see from the signs, it looks like there's a den here somewhere. Somewhere in this area. The other thing that you're able to see is it looks like goblins have been around here. And further, so probably as you're traveling to the Goblin Castle, you see signs that there's been new movement. And it looks like feet have been dragged into the castle.
Hobbit-sized feet?
Yeah.
Like Zach and Tad were just captured.
No. More than that. More feet. More feets.
Oh, no.
And we're certain that it's not the old tracks that we've been making.
Right, no. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, because that'd be a weird feeling if, like, oh no, there's new goblin tracks, so yeah, it's our own tracks, and then we just do that cartoon thing where we're chasing ourselves in a circle.
I'm going to make a check to see something. Okay, good.
Benny Hill song starts playing.
Alright, I guess we charge in be the heroes, right? Or do we just say that the lost cause and bide our time elsewhere?
That's a tough call, because if we charge in, we're dead.
How fresh are these tracks?
Quite. Within the last day.
Oh, the scouts didn't do a good job. Oh, man. I don't think there's a whole lot we can do here.
We just pray that Squints can help them out.
Hope it wasn't Squints.
Maybe it wasn't.
We should probably head back to town then.
Head back to town?
And not let anyone know that we found this.
And
not
happened to everybody.
Not tell everybody that it was our idea to send them there.
Yeah, we'll just be real quiet. No, we should definitely tell them that. Yeah, we think the goblins got some of your scouts. It was the Thane's idea sending them out there.
Hey, don't throw Knob under the bus. He just got into position. You want everyone to hate him already?
He's going to be a great Thane.
Two things happen. Evening, it becomes starts to become early evening. As you start making your way back through the trail toward the hill, away from
early evening of the 14th now.
Let's see. So let's see. You've spent this would be the 16th day.
16th. Okay.
That's not a calendar day. That's just the original characters. That's how long they've been in the Evening Lands since they left Parent City.
Right.
I'm gonna. All right. Okay. Let's see. Tharnlin and Bashar roll a d6.
Ooh, I got a 1.
Oof.
You say Farnwin and Bashar?
No, Warden and Bashar.
Okay.
I don't know if that's, yeah.
That's what I assumed, but then I guess what I heard.
Okay.
Got
you. You see, Warden, signs of multiple humanoid figures moving swiftly through the woods to your left as you're traveling back towards Brandonsford. And then you hear in the setting sun the air shattered by something. And you just hear that noise just echoing over in the distance.
Do these humanoid figures, like the signs of the humanoid figures, does it seem odd? Like it goes through thickets and briars and the irregular patterns that the elf did?
I'm sorry, could you rephrase? Well, Alexa, let me give you one more detail. So you see these figures, and they're kind of moving this way, okay? And then you hear that noise back this way.
Ooh.
Right,
Very
so
good, very bad.
So which way was the noise heard? I'm sorry, can you repeat it one more time?
Back this way.
Okay. So does it seem like okay? So these figures, can I see the figures?
Yes.
See them.
Yeah, you see humanoid figures.
Do they look like the elves, like the elf that we saw earlier?
Yeah, I think you can infer that from their speed and their style of movement. They seem to just flow effortlessly through the woods, just like when you saw that. Yeah.
So does it seem like they're running from the dragon, or the dragon is chasing them? Like, which does it seem more likely?
You're not sure, but that noise is definitely miles off in the distance.
Okay.
And these figures are not. They're about 100, 200 yards away.
Okay, well, I would relay that to the group and ask what we're gonna do, and if we're gonna try to intervene with these elves again. Last time didn't work out too well.
Yeah, I don't think they like us very much.
And since I'm wearing the pelt of their friends / gods, I don't think we should even try.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't go talk to them right now.
Yeah.
Good call. I'm just continuing towards Brandsonford.
Hey, I'm wearing your dead friend on my head. How's it going?
But in my defense, he attacked me first. I'm just saying.
All right.
It's a friendship hat.
Nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Moving,
We're all fine
moving
here,
right
thanks,
along. Moving right along.
Making goblin traps as I go.
Well, are we still making goblin tracks?
I mean, I
I hope not.
Oh, we're not?
I hope not.
Well,
Not that we're leaving.
Oh, yeah.
No, we don't want to lead them back from to
Take my goblin
Brandsonford.
feet
We're
off.
going
and
to-
throw them in
Bashaw
the
and Warden, you can roll a d6.
Oh my goodness. This is a 6.
6, okay.
A very eventful.
3.
You see off in the distance in the woodline movement that's down low. It obviously is like little. They're either hobbits or goblins or something that size. They're small things down at the base of the tree line, and there's rustling and yelling, and they're moving towards you.
We ignore
Right.
them.
The yelling
Keep
in
going.
goblin?
Yeah, I
All
should
right.
hide. Or evade.
You're able to do that, no problem. You hear this noise again. Closer this time.
Closer. That's good.
If those were goblins that we avoided, then that is good. But if those were hobbits that we avoided, then it's terrible.
I'm hoping they would run.
You'd think.
I'm more
Also-
worried that we have a dragon chasing us back to Brandsonford.
Yeah, one of my worries is that they captured the hobbits, and then it turns out they totally were in cahoots with the dragon, and then the Goblin King told the dragon that the Goblin King told the dragon that the hobbits were involved, and now the dragon's like, "Well, I'll take care of that right away."
You
Well, good thing we told them about water. So we got some water prepared, so that's good.
But
you
it's acid.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna make it so much worse. Do you add acid to water or water to acid? I don't remember which.
You approach the gates of Brandonsford as it becomes dark, and you see a cloud almost of things in the air coming towards you from the woodline. It's probably so. You're probably a good 200 yards from the woodline at this point in a clearing. The woodline is further away from you, but there's like this things that's like moving through the air, and they're flying towards you.
Are they stones?
No, they look like some kind of bird, like a bat or something.
Oh,
Is it which direction are they flying from?
So they're in this woodline. They're flying towards you. I know this thing is.
Okay, so it's not
Too big.
like
Let me make this
from
small.
Brandonsford towards us. I was like,
Right. So I was like, we're approaching, and I was throwing stones.
yeah, and it's like,
good
nope.
job,
those are-
guys.
Oh, that might be a little too small. Let me make it a
I
little
broke
bigger.
it and battered, but I'm so proud of you.
All right.
Yeah, I think we continue to run into the home, right?
All right.
That's
You
what we
think
do.
that if you make
Yeah.
it if you go at a dead sprint, you might make it before these things get to you. All right.
Yeah, let's run.
If you
Yeah.
run, you're able to make it into the gates of Brandonsford, and with its high walls, these things turn around and head the other way. Brandonsford, meanwhile, has taken on a different. It's different since you left. They have worked hard in the day, listening to the Thane, marshaled and whipped into shape by the matronly order of good manners, for which everyone is in constant living fear. And so there are stacks of stones and supply caches and places for fire brigades, and the bounders actually have real weapons, arrows, bows and arrows, and the Knights of the Old Road. These old hobbit men are actually in various corners taking postings, wearing armor that doesn't fit them, and they're too fat for
Hey
it.
guys, I gotta break. I'll see you guys next week. I gotta break off for now.
Find
I
All right, see you, Dave.
see you. Yeah.
Need to find out if wasn't there somebody in town that spoke Goblin? So we can get them to interrogate this little guy. Oh, we got a couple things to do. My goodness. So we gotta get somebody to interrogate this guy. See if those other two made it back.
Those two did make it back.
They did?
Yeah, Tad and Zach are out on the edge of town. Yep.
Good. Do we have any information from our scouting party?
They did not return.
Oh, all right. Privately tell Knob that we think they were taken.
He takes his hat off.
Yeah.
Oh no. Squints. Squints was so brave. It was a rare thing in a time like this. It was what the Shire needed. Oh no.
Very fine hobbit.
I should tell the families the truth.
Best wait for now.
I
And
would.
then we need to. Do you know somebody who speaks Goblin here?
Well, I mean, William could probably, with some difficulty, and using some of the things from the Matham house, he could probably try to understand.
Perfect.
What is that in your sack?
It's a goblin.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Please don't let the Order of Good Manners know that you've brought a goblin in town. The paperwork on that would be awful.
Oh goodness, no! It's just a very rambunctious chicken.
Yes. Yes. It's just a chicken.
Definitely a chicken.
We can
It's
get
a
you to
small
the
nugget.
Matham house maybe tomorrow. Out of character, what is it that you're trying to learn from the goblin?
Pretty much anything he can tell us. How many are there? Where's the Goblin King located? Are you working for the dragon? Working with the dragon? Come here, kitty.
Okay. What's your interrogation approach when you bring him to the Matham house? Excuse me. Like, how do you talk to him and try to get that information?
I'm going to. Oh, I got an idea. So I'm gonna go get some gold coins, like a stack of gold from the bank, and then when I ask him a question, I'm gonna put a gold piece down, or like a stack of gold pieces, like 5 gold pieces, and then get to ask a question. When he's like, "No," I'll just take a gold piece off of the stack.
Okay. Yeah.
And then whenever he answers a question, I'll put 3.
So the first thing he wants to know is he wants to know that he can get out of here with this gold, basically,
Oh,
if he
for sure.
cooperates. Okay. He cooperates in short order. So far away from all the other goblins, having seen all the goblins around him mowed down by you, having heard a dragon off in the distance. He's like, yeah, there's a Goblin King. He looks like a pig. I think he used to be a man. Now he's the Goblin King. We're all really loyal to him. He's in the castle. And there's probably 200 goblins, I don't know, in there. There's a bunch of goblins. And we were raising an army because we were going to, the Goblin King wanted to try to use the dragon against Brandonsford. To shatter the walls so that we could take over. And then that was going to become our castle. And from there, we were going to unite the goblin tribes of the Evening Lands. Because there are other major goblin leaders, and there are all these goblin uprisings along the old road that leads to the Broken Dragon Shrine. And he's like, okay, I'll take my gold now.
I go, is there any way to shake the loyalty of the other goblins to the Goblin King?
Oh yeah, you'll whoever becomes the Goblin King. The Goblin King was something really special, and he almost tears up when he thinks about the Goblin King. And he's like, only the Goblin King could do what he did. Hogboon. Only he could do what he did. If someone else could do that, well, they could do that as well. They could take over the other goblin tribes. They could wipe them out. They could be, well, the Goblin King.
And what? Ask him what was it that he did?
Yeah.
Hogboon? He's like, well, I don't know. He was just... And he gets this weird look in his eye, and he's like, Hogboon was just really great. He was so great. He seems unable to answer that.
Hogboon's a wizard. Or
A
something.
pig man wizard.
Man, bear pig. Do it for cereal. All right. Okay, so I tell him you're gonna stay here till morning, and then I'm gonna put you back in the sack with your gold and bring you outside so that they don't kill you. And then go tell your friends that if they cooperate with us, actually, you know what? Even better, just go tell whoever you think would work with us that there's a lot of gold and that the Goblin King is just awesome. What a
Okay.
guy.
You know, that sounds great. I like the sack anyway. And he crawls back into the sack. And then from inside of the sack, he's like, this place is great.
We'll throw in the sack. Sure. Yep.
Oh, wow. You're almost as good as the Goblin King.
Almost. One day, maybe. One day.
All right. Let's see. Let's go back to this. The evening in Brandonsford is a bit different than most evenings. Amazingly, Nob has truly mobilized this town, setting up supply caches, patrols, posts. People have taken shifts, and so many of the hobbits are resting. And the first time that you've ever seen, and probably the first time any of these hobbits have ever seen, the hobbits of Brandonsford are set to one goal, and it's not just the making of merriment for once. And so the taverns are quite empty for the night. The night passes, the goblin is happy in his sack. Mildred is snoring. And the next day, when the sun rises, you hear a familiar sound coming some mile off from the tree line in the distance. All the hobbits hear it too. That's where we'll stop.